Good afternoon, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 135. It is Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock. Beautiful day outside, just beautiful. Few fluffy clouds off in the distance. 83 degrees outside. Very, very light breeze. And just a really, really nice day outside. And we are leaving home, heading out to the casinos. And it's going to be a long day, unfortunately. It's going to be a long drive. Today, our goal is to get at least a couple sessions or more of blackjack. We're going to play some slots, possibly some poker, just whatever we can get our hands on. And hopefully we have a good day. Yesterday was Saturday, and I had a tiny bit of free play. And I said to my wife, hey, you want to go for a drive? She said yes, so we went off to this casino, and I'm trying to just recall how it went down. I come in, first machines are all full, go around the back, nothing going on, go to the far reaches of the casino, and there are 3 slot machines in a carousel there, and I checked the first one, there's nothing there. Second one has a borderline play. I sit down, start playing that with my free play. And then the third machine has a lady playing, so I wait for that. Almost finished with my first play on this first machine. And there's a borderline play. I still hadn't considered whether or not I was going to play it. The first play was going really well. And this lady finished up on the machine next to me. I look over, and it was like in a better position than the one I was playing. So I took out a player's card, put it in the machine, put a $20 bill in the machine, leaned the chair up against it, and finished my play first. And it paid pretty well. I moved on to the other machine, played that one out, and at that point I was ahead like $385. So I was doing good. Did not go back to the borderline play. It didn't make any sense. Leaving that area, there's one machine where there was a play at $10. And interestingly, someone had checked the 1 cent, 2 cent, and 5 cent level, and they had not checked the 10 cent level. I put the voucher in there, started playing. I ended up losing about $100 on that play. That was just the most unfortunate thing. And then checked out the rest of the machines with my wife, and didn't find anything else. And when I came out of that back area, she was playing a machine. I'm like, why are you playing this machine? She's like, I knew you would say something. I'm like, you know why I'm here. I'm here to beat the casino. And that machine you're playing is a beatable machine, and it's not in position. And those pay so badly when they're not in position, you know. So ended up leaving that casino ahead $274. Actually, I think there's some kind of a giveaway there today. Some kind of garbage we don't need. I don't even remember what it was last time. But so we're gonna head out right now, and hopefully we can find some good plays here. We can get some time in on the blackjack. We're gonna head all the way there. We're not gonna get fuel, and then on the way home we'll get fuel. We won't even really, it'll be close, but we could almost make it all the way home on 1 tank of gas today. But we're gonna fill up on the way home, and we'll see how things go. Right now, like I said, nice day, and I've got plenty to do in the car here, plenty of stuff to work on, and I'll start looking at rental cars for our trip. And we're going to need 2 rental cars, and we'll see what happens. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Okay, alright guys, I am back, and it's been about 4 hours, closing in on our first stop. And man, I'm a little bit drained, I have to say. 4 hours straight driving. That's the downside of having a hybrid, and I'm still about halfway on my fuel, so looking good there. Just pulling up to this place here pretty soon. I'm gonna go in and look at slots first, take a couple laps, and then go to poker. and then we'll wait for a shift change. Most likely, we'll see. We may play blackjack if we get lucky and end up in a place where someone doesn't know us, but usually that's going to be on the later shift. So right now, let's continue on here. Let's get to the casino, and then we're going to have about 20 minutes before the shift change, and I'll come back and update you. You know, I keep recording these segments and I never listen to this stuff, so hopefully you guys can hear these when I do these. It's not too annoying for you. But I've been here now for, I don't know, 3 hours, and just had a terrible time trying to find plays, and all the little plays that I was doing were not coming out good, and, you know, basically was just treading water, not making any money. I think I'm down on slots. I don't know how much. Let me see. I don't know. I think around $50 I'm down on slots. If I could find that voucher. But anyway, I did not play blackjack yet, but I did play 1-3 no limit. Right now I'm down actually $20 on slots. It just feels like 50. So I did play 1-3 no limit, and I had a bunch of chips in my pocket already from, you know, before, and sat down, bought in for 200, and within a few hands I had it up to like 370, 380, and then have some bad hands, fall back down again. I'm back to just about even. And there's about 10 security people walking through here. Something's going to happen here in a second. I'll just watch. I'll just sit back and watch, because I want to check this machine anyway in this area. Somebody's on it. We'll see what these guys are doing. But anyway, so I was back to about even, and then there's one guy that came to the table that was like incredibly aggressive with the dealer. Like, she'd tell him to do something, and he'd argue with her and stuff, and he had just gotten to the table and was immediately having issues with her, going back and forth. And then his drink was on the table and he wouldn't put it in something, and all this stuff. And so I ended up playing a little bit longer. Table got down to 6, then 5. Then he took a break, got down to 4. There was one guy, came to the table, never played a hand, almost got completely taken off the table for not playing, sits down, then says no, he doesn't want a hand yet, gets up and ends up switching tables. So that was like a waste of a spot. We could have had somebody there for a while. But so this guy is being aggressive every hand, and he's building his stack and building his stack, and he had to be taught a lesson eventually. There was a hand where I had king queen suited, and the flop was jack high, and he was all in, and he's got pocket 10s, and I ended up hitting the queen. I had a straight draw too, so I ended up hitting the queen for a pair and ended up winning the hand. And I was down like 25 or 30 at that point, and that brought me up to being ahead. Oh man, actually I guess I was up at that point slightly. That brought me to being ahead 459, and I ended up leaving. I was just about to leave that table anyway, the hand before. Yeah, that's what happened. I was plus exactly 200 the hand before, and I was about to leave because we were down to 4 people. And then he came back to the table, and I played one more hand, and he ended up pushing all in. I called him, ended up leaving ahead 459. So that's good. And other than that, it's busy, it's noisy, and not any good plays. These security guards still walked around for a while and ended up not doing anything. So I think I'm gonna. Somebody's still on that machine. I can see it from across the way here, but there's only one of these, and I don't understand why, because there should be a lot more people would play them. Anyway, let's walk around. We're down 20 on the slots. We're up 459 on the 1-3 no limit, and I'll come back and let you know what happens. All right, guys, I am back and having a really difficult time right now finding stuff to play. Right now, I'm at 66, I think, on the, no, 94 on the slots. Still haven't found a blackjack table to play. I'm about to check out these couple machines here. I'll be back. Alright, had a small victory on the blackjack table because there's nothing available. 6 to 5 tables everywhere. Finally found an empty 3 to 2. It was empty for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And by the time the whole crew came over, I was at a minus true 2. So it was time to get up anyway. Low limit table ended the session ahead 125. So long way to go here. Getting late. Lost a lot of time here looking for stuff, but gonna try a different pit here and see if we can find something there. So small win, plus 125. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. Just got to the car. It's midnight right now, and has not been the greatest day. Man, I was very loud, very busy in there. Did not get a chance to play as much as I would have liked. So let me break this down here. So played the 1-3 no limit, ended up ahead 459. Played blackjack for a little while, ended up ahead 125. Played a lot of slots. I was ahead about 94 or maybe like 106 actually, and I was getting ready to leave. And I'm sitting in this back far area and watching this machine, waiting for them to finish up so I could sit down. And this guy comes by. And I recognize him. I know he's an advantage player, and you know I've seen him in there before. We've said hi, and in fact, when I came in earlier today, he was talking to a friend of mine who's also an advantage player, and I said hi to my friend. I said hello to that guy, but I didn't really know him. We'd never like officially been introduced or anything like that. Then I saw him walking around. Okay, so when I was waiting for that machine, I saw him pop his head in. And then he saw me and he smiled and he walked away. And then later on I saw him walking around, and he smiled, and then he came over and started talking to me, introduced himself. We talked for a little while, and we just started talking about what, you know, our family and stuff like that, and why we're there and all that kind of stuff. So then we noticed a bunch of APs crowded around the machine. There's a guy playing one at $10 a spin, and we're talking about that. And then he's talking to these two other guys, and they're like, "Oh yeah, there's a borderline one on that machine." He's like, "Where? I'll play it." So he goes over, he looks at it, and it's at $2 a spin. And he's like, "Yeah, I play this all day." And I'm like, "I think that's a little too low." He's like, "Why don't we split it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really think." I thought, you know what, this would be a good faith thing to do, to show him that, you know, I trust him and stuff like that. So I went in on it with him, and we ended up losing $165 each. So pretty much wiped out all my slot winnings. And then he's like, "Well, I'm out of here. I'm down 1,100, which is never a good sign to hear a guy who only plays slots and generally low limit to be down that much. That means he really does play way too loose." So he left. I kept looking around, and I found a couple plays, one at $3 and one at $6 a spin, and played those through. And both of them did well. The first one did okay. The second one did really good, and I ended up leaving ahead 199 on slots all in, so including what I did with him. So ended up with 199 there, almost 500 on the poker, 100 on the blackjack, so still about $800. So not a terrible day, just not the way I would have liked it. You know, I would have rather come in, sat down at a blackjack table, played for 2 hours and left and made some money. And, you know, that's what I like to do. That's what I would like to do. I don't have to keep searching for stuff all day, hoping that I get there before another person and all that. I can just sit at a table and play it through, and whatever happens, happens. But, unfortunately, those days are kind of gone right now. This place is very busy at night, and that's the only shift that I can play blackjack. And there's a lot of 6 to 5 tables, so it's really difficult for me to find a place to sit down. And sometimes I'm playing with one other person or even 2 other people, which is like a terrible thing, So unless the counts are really good, I'm not going to do that. But if I'm bored and I'm back counting and there might be one other person at the table, I might sit down and I'll play with them, but it's so hard to find good plays right now. So anyway, all right, got some other stuff going on here. Let me take care of that and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, 1:30 right now. Just stopped for some fuel and gonna continue on the trip here. Yeah, pretty tired. Not the most exciting day, but made money, so that's good. Just overall, can't wait for alternatives to be available. So we got fuel for $3.14 most recently. So could be under $3 sometime this week. It's very possible. Yeah, man, it's I hate depending on poker because it's really not my thing. I work hard at it. I try to be as serious as I can. I try to put thought into what I do. It is coming easier to me, but it's not something that I really enjoy that much anyway. So, I mean, could I do it for a living? Yeah, I guess if I had to. But it would take a lot of work, a lot of concentration. I just feel like I'm better at other things, blackjack, for instance. So anyway, yeah, here, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, guys, I'm just so tired. I can hardly even do this right now. I'm still so far away from home, and we could do a couple segments here. What did you eat today, MW? My wife and one of the kids and I went to an Asian buffet, and usually I don't go to those. I mean, those places don't like me. I pull into the parking lot, they pull the shades down, they turn off the light. They don't want me in there. So, but this place is a new place. We went there. It was pretty good. There was a lot of sushi, a lot of good food, a lot of nice stuff on this buffet, but it was kind of pricey for my wife and I, and and my youngest. It was pre-tip. It was a little over $100. So I think that's kind of high for what you're getting. There was a lot of good sushi on there, but I don't think that it was that good that it was worth that much. So I'm going to give that a 9 on a scale of 2 through ace. And then tonight I had some Asian food also, some chicken and some rice, and I'll give that a 9 also on a scale of 2 through ace. And what did you tip today, MW? Blackjack wise, I tipped $0. And then on the 1-3 no limit table, the poker table, I probably tipped about $5. And what did you learn today, MW? I actually met some new people that I hadn't seen before. Well, I've seen them, but didn't know them very well. But now we're on speaking terms, I guess. And the one guy was telling me, yeah, anytime I gotta play, if you're in the building, I'll find you and give you half. And I'm like, why? Don't do that. I mean, I said, if we're walking together, checking together, that's one thing. But if you're on your own, why would I steal your money? None of these guys get it. They feel like they're doing something wrong if you're in the building and they're not splitting something with you. And I don't see how that's sustainable. It's so hard to make money as it is. But So met that guy and hung out with him for a while and stuff, and just looked at machines and stuff today. So wasn't like the best day in the world, but it was okay. Right now, heading home, 65 degrees. Road is pretty quiet. Weather is clear, so no issues there, no wind, no nothing. So let's head home, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.